As promised, I believe we are ready to start. The representative for the minister has arrived. Sesingaqala umsebenzi wethu. Bese ngivele nginemukele ka MTN. So maybe let me introduce myself and the wonderful gentleman next to me, because we shall be managing the short Power Pack program for you this afternoon. Maybe let me start by introducing Babe Dube. Babe Dube is our sign language interpreter. So one of the wonderful things that MTN embraces is diversity and inclusion, and that ensures that with every event we have, we make sure that all our customers and onke emaswati can participate and listen to what we are saying. Before I honor protocol, let me take this opportunity as well. Thank you for joining us. You are tuned in to one of our MTN social media platforms, and our program this afternoon is basically just to speak about the vast investment that MTN does in the kingdom with regards to sports and wellness. So let me first honor our dignitaries that are seated in the front. And just before I do, Mr. DJ, just please play me a short song, just a nice one that you personally love as well. I'll explain to you why you are playing that song. Myself as well. My name is Triniwe Fagute. By employment, I work for MTN. By cycling, I cycle with MTN Khemani. By affiliation, I'm affiliated to sports, and I love cycling, and I'm passionate about anything and everything that speaks to cycling. So this afternoon, we are here to just celebrate cycling. For those of you that are very good fans and are supporters of cycling, I will tell you why, as a cycling family, of late, as Tolagale Makaya, you see us riding at night. You will see us in the middle of the road alone trying to understand. So we will let you understand as a cycling family. But before I do, let me honor protocol. Let me quickly and start by introducing and appreciating our dignitaries that are here this afternoon. For sports, culture, and youth in the country, Mage Naniki Mnisi. Thank you for joining us, Mage. I'd also like to appreciate the presence of my boss and my CEO, Babe Wandile Mjali. We would also like to appreciate the presence of our president and avid cyclist himself, a man that needs no introduction in cycling, Babe Zwite Gune Umalo. I said, Babe, yunagile guti. Wahlala lang embilu bang Babe. And then moving along, I'd also like to honor the presence of the chairman of the board of Emankayane Town Board. The CEO will equally, in his speech, explain why we are honored this afternoon to have Mankayane Siyabonga Nkosi Babe Asin Dlamini. The presence of a member of the board, Khemani, Babe Dlamini, we call him senior. He is one of our senior cyclists in the country, but also a passionate cyclist himself. Siyabonga, please put your hands together for our dignitaries. We would also like to appreciate the presence of the Ministry of Sports, the Sports and Recreation Council, the members of the cycling fraternity. So I did explain, Gwaguti, of late, when you drive around Eswatini, everywhere you look, there is a cyclist on the road. We are fresh from the, I think it's the Mormon Sticks Charity Cup, and we are happy to have Baba Clinton McNamara here with us. He's from Forever Cycling. Please put your hands together for him. Thank you, Clinton. We are also preparing very passionately, Bandwabagetu, because yes, we are going to cycle in South Africa next week in a cycle event called Amashova in Durban. But one that is exciting us as a local cycling family is the one that is billed for the 30th Gusekaya Lowveld Invitational. We have Mduduzi Kaudi here from Gusekaya Cycling. Thank you for joining us, Mduduzi. Please put your hands together for that as well. I think it is evident now that everybody that should be here is here. We also have the executive of MTN Eswatini. And the nice thing about them is that the ones that are here are all cyclists, including you, Happy. We know that you're a cyclist in your heart. But the ones that are here, CEO, have taken on your passion. In fact, I'm tempted to believe that some of you pulled you into cycling, because the MTN executive, Bicyclisha Bandla, Lindani cycles, Mpumzeni cycles, his senior managers, our CEO cycle, there's Sihle, he cycles. So yes, MTN is a cycling family, and we are grateful that you could join us this afternoon. Well, having done that introduction, it now makes it easier for me, ladies and gentlemen, to invite our boss, our captain, our CEO, a cyclist himself. He joined cycling and he's so passionate about it. And I believe in your speech, CEO, utabahlebela kokuthi so shabo 100 when in how many hours, but our CEO, ladies and gentlemen, is going to take the podium. Ngicela nimemukele, nimeshayele tandla as he comes to the podium.
Should be okay, yeah. Okay. Yellow. Yellow. People from cycling about yellow. Sanbonani, thank you for joining us this afternoon. I think on behalf of MTN, it's really exciting for us to be here and to launch again another year of MTN Khemani Cycling Challenge. And we will give you more information about it. But I think as MTN, we're really excited about this day because over the past 2 years, we've not been able to provide this sponsorship. But I think this year we will do that, and I'm believing that going to the future, it is a sponsorship that will continue to manage as MTN. So thank you so much for making time to come and be part of this very important occasion. I think first of all, just to honor protocol, thank you to the Undersecretary in the Ministry of Sports, Culture and Youth Affairs for gracing us with your presence. Thank you, Mage, and do please pass our appreciation to the Honorable Minister. I know he wanted to be here, but I think due to some important national activities, he sent you to come. So thanks for making time to come through. And also we want to appreciate the leadership of National Sports and Recreation Council. And also thanks to my Isbali, the President of Cycling Association, Mr. Zwita Ngumalo, for coming through. And he's the main man that has been helping us to organize this event. And also the President of the Khemani Cycling, represented here by Umlangeni. And this club, which some of us are proud to be members of, and we will unpack what is it that we are looking forward to come the 13th of November. And to the chairperson of the Mangane Town Board, which is the town that we'll be cycling at next month. Thank you, sir, for making time. And to the CEO as well, Mr. Madlopa, thank you for making time to be part of this important occasion. To all the sponsors and co-sponsors of the MTN Khemani Club, I know it's not only us at MTN, but you've got Nando's, you also have the OK Foods. So thanks to for the other co-sponsors that we have at Khemani. And also to all the cyclists that are here this afternoon. Again, we are looking forward to a very good day in Mangane on the 13th of November. I'm sure all of us will be ready. I can assure you that I'll be there. I can't promise that I'll do 95, but I'll do something just slightly below that. But we were looking forward to an enjoyable day. To all the MTN staff and leadership that are here this afternoon, to the media that continues to support us in all our activities, particularly around sports. You're always here to support us. Thank you for being part of this important occasion as well. I think first of all, let me start off to say that we at MTN, we really put a lot of effort, even internally within our own staff, to make sure that wellness becomes key and very important for our staff members. And that is what we then extend to the rest of the country and to the communities where we live. And that is why you will see that MTN, on a year-on-year basis, we continue to sponsor sports as much as possible. You've seen us in a number of sporting activities, but I think particularly in football, in golf, and in cycling, that is where we are, and we continue to give resources to most of these sporting fraternities. So it is something that we are building into our culture, that we need to sponsor sports and develop sports in the kingdom. It helps a lot around the health condition of our nation, and so Emaswati must take up on sports. At MTN, we've actually put together an app. It's not open for everyone, but it's an app that we've developed for MTN employees. We call it MTN Move. It is meant to give a lot of effort around developing the lifestyle of our employees and making sure that our employees' wellness is taken care of. So we'll see people go in there and they share what they do on a daily basis. Labanye, they wake up in the morning, they cycle. Some wake up in the morning, they run, or end of the day, and they capture that information, and so that they can share with each other, and it also encourages our colleagues so that they can also make sure that they take care of themselves. If you go into the main office, those that have been in our office, there's a gym facility there as well. We encourage our staff to participate there. And all we're doing this just to deal with the wellness of our employees, because with a healthy mind, and also you'll find a healthy output from our employees. So this is something that we've been doing over the years, and we'll continue to work closely to it. Now, why do we sponsor, I think, from MTN? I think we at MTN, we've got our objective that we want to make sure that each and every Leswati is given an opportunity through our digital platforms. That is why we are saying Onke Maswati deserves a life of a modern connected life. And that is what we've been doing over the years. We continue to invest in a number of areas, particularly around our network. We also invest in the technologies that we have. That is why today we speak more about the technology, including mobile money. We also speak to some of the digital platforms that we have. This is where MTN is. But again, we also expect our customers to take on board most of these services, and they use them to better their lives on a continuous basis. So we're here to sponsor sports, first of all, to inspire people to greatness. And when you're really investing in sport, you really reach higher grounds which you ordinarily will not reach. We're also here to connect the nation through the passion that we have. Some of us have got the passion in cycling, some passion in golf, etc., etc. We're here to connect Emaswati on that, and also to transform their realities and also enable access through the technology that we provide at MTN. Now, the question that maybe you might ask yourself is, why do we then invest in cycling? Why MTN Khemani? MTN Khemani has been part of MTN now for, I think, almost 9 years. Really a successful sponsorship that we've had. For those that have been here from day one, we used to bring in those very big international and regional teams and professional athletes to come and cycle in MTN Khemani. That's what we're going to do again this year. We've invited a number of cycling clubs that will join us during the day when we run, when we cycle in MTN Khemani. The Rock Classic has created much needed recognition, I think, not only in Eswatini, but also within the region. So this is really a very important cycling event that we believe that it is going to take this country forward. We've also witnessed, which is very important, an increase in the number of cyclists from ladies. And Tiniwe, I think, is one of them. And I think if you look at within the MTN Khemani team alone, you will see that quite a number of ladies have participated in cycling, which is very important. So we also try as much as possible to foster ladies to be part of this very important occasion. The race also attracts, like I said, quite a number of teams coming through outside our borders. We've got teams that will come through from South Africa, from Botswana, from Mozambique, as well as Namibia. These teams will be here on the day, and they will also be enjoying the day with us. And we believe that we will give them a very good competition. So we believe that Emaswati will do better when it comes the day of the cycling. So MTN has partnered with MTN Khemani, the club itself, since 2013. And I think to date we have spent just over 2.8 million emalangeni just towards cycling in the Kingdom of Eswatini. And today, it really gives me pleasure to announce, Under Secretary, that we at MTN are sponsoring the MTN Khemani Road Classic Race that will take place in Mangane to the tune of 200,000 emalangeni. And so, finally, we are looking forward to the event, MTN Khemani Road Classic, that will take place in Mangane. So we're looking forward to be with you in Mangane in the next few weeks. Let us prepare ourselves. All the cyclists in the room, including myself, will make sure that we prepare too quickly so that we can then capture those mountains in Mangane. Thank you so much. We're looking forward to seeing you in Mangane. May God bless you.
Thank you very much, CEO. I believe we can put our hands together again for the 2.8 million over this year, these years, invested into cycling, and even the 200,000 for this year. Thank you so much, CEO. I'm not sure whether to call you CEO Babe Wandile, because the real CEO Mbabe Nhleko, actually. Because let's share with you all. The CEO is officially on leave. He's supposed to be in Johannesburg. This morning he landed at the airport just to come for this launch. He's flying out again tomorrow. So in all truth, you are really not CEO, just saying. So thank you, CEO Babe Nhleko acting, and the other CEO. But thank you for your passion, CEO, and I think you've actually shown it by coming all the way just to be a part of this cycle. And thank you for partnering with Khemani. And over the years, I think the cyclists will appreciate you. The beautiful thing about this, CEO, is that you will see your investment, because one of the key things that Khemani is doing is also ensuring that we develop young people. So I am certain that our Babet Dlamini Senior, who will speak on behalf of Khemani to really respond to your remarks, will also just highlight some of the things that we are doing as Khemani, just to make sure that we uphold the vision, and your investment as MTN is not wasted. Mlangeni, I hope ngwethule kahle Mntana Nkosi, please come through and speak on behalf of Khemani. Please put your hands together for him as he comes.
Uyang exposer CEO. Utanga iPad mina ngiphethe amaphepha la. The representative of the Minister of Sports, Youth and Culture, Andersek. CEO of MTN Eswatini, MTN Eswatini Executive Management, Mayor of Mangayane. Okay. The President, Eswatini Cycling Association, MTN Khemani family, fellow cyclists, ladies and gentlemen, all protocol observed. Let me start by expressing my excitement in addressing you on this special day in our cycling calendar. It is a dream for every cycling team to host a cycling event at least once a year. We are happy to say that MTN Eswatini has made that dream a reality for MTN Khemani cycling team. MTN has not only sponsored our race over the years, but also helped in the development and growth of the team and the sport at large. As I stand before you today, I cannot help but reflect with amazement on the journey we have traveled over the years as a team. It is with confidence that I say MTN Khemani is a team of cyclists whose dedication to the sport is unrivaled. We have grown over the years, and our lives as cyclists have changed along the journey in ways one could not have fathomed when we first began. We have been pushing boundaries as a team, and as a result, we have achieved many milestones for which we are grateful, and thanks to MTN Eswatini. Our association with MTN has brought about a visible impact on the communities that we interacted with as a result of our hosting this event. As we launch this race today, it is remarkable to note that Mankayane, which is a place we have our cap points at as MTN, is our starting point this year. Mankayane cap points have been provided with food parcels to feed orphaned and vulnerable children in a drive to provide healthy and a balanced meal on a daily basis. We also supplied medical equipment to Mankayane Government Hospital. This has only been possible through our association with MTN, and we are very grateful for that. Cycling is a way of engendering discipline and fortitude, especially in young people. Personal traits like determination is what is desperately needed by our youth in order to survive the complexities of the world in which we live in. It is for this reason that the idea of a cycling academy is now gaining momentum more than ever before in our strategic plan. After all, they are the future, as we say in the vernacular. It is MTN State's intention to grow the sport across the country and to particularly grow our presence in international events and competitions. But this vision will only be a pipe dream without MTN on our side. So I would like us to give MTN a round of applause. On another note, we would like to thank the Ministry of Sports, which had made it possible for our cyclists to participate in the Commonwealth Games. You know, this is the kind of exposure that we need for our young cyclists to grow and be at that level which we want them to be at. May we also extend our appreciation to the Eswatini Cycling Association for their vibrancy and zeal in promoting the sport in the country. And we are hopeful with your support to stage an exciting and a thrilling race at Mankayane this year on the 13th of November, 2022. As I conclude, I'll also once again thank MTN for the partnership we have enjoyed with them and trust it will grow even stronger in the years to come. Without MTN, nothing could have been possible. You know, it will only be a dream, as I've stated before. But MTN have come on board, and they really helped us to realize our ambition to grow the sport in the country. So we are grateful for that. I'd also like to thank members of the MTN Khemani family for their commitment to the sport and to each other as athletes. And I want to implore them to continue in that spirit in an effort to grow the sport in the country. But once more, let me say we are very grateful for this year's sponsorship, and we really appreciate what MTN has done for the team in the past and what MTN is going to do for the team in the near future. So on that note, may I say, from Mankayane to Stunusa, let the best man or woman win. Kansha, I thank you.
Siyabonga kakhulu Nkosi. May the best man or woman win. Wow. maybe Ngozi, at this point, it would be proper for me to introduce the committee that is responsible for organizing the race. So it's not necessarily just primarily the executive, but the board has put together a team of persons that are responsible for making sure that it's a success. I'm also just measuring and managing expectations, CEO, so that bantu babone ukuthi bobani kungabe sesekuthiwa ngigciniwe. Udakhethela nje lofuna ukuthi umthuma CEO, so I will ask them to come to the front quickly. The nice thing, Sihle, is that I'm on the microphone. You can't say no. So Sihle Mahlalela, please come. There's Zakele, who's our race director. There's Nomfundo Chiane, who's the Secretary General, but also in the committee. There is also Top Cat TC, who is also in the organizing committee. Who am I forgetting? Coincidentally, CEO Sihle is the treasurer, imagine. Who makes Sihle Mahlalela the treasurer? There's also Lindani. Please come forward, CTIO. Thank you. I've got everybody. Okay. There they are, CEO. President, this is the team that is responsible for delivering for you a good race on the 13th. Labange Kong Sabelo and Atwell, who is also not with us. Atwell is the coach. Please put your hands together for them. Thank you, gentlemen and lady. Oh, Sasya shoot, okay. No, Sasya shoot, Lyndon, please. Thank you very much, colleagues. You may take your seats. Siyabonga kakhulu Nkwasi Senior for speaking for us. I see Junior is also here now, Dr. Futi. So Siyabonga Nkosi, we can actually see you as well, and thank you for joining us. At this point, CEO, it gives me pleasure to then invite the chairman of the board, Yasemangayane, to come and speak to us Umlangeni and possibly tell us the tricks of conquering those mountains, Lemangayane Nkosi. But please come to the phone, Nimshayile Dandla.
Program Director, Minister, Representative of Minister of Sports and Culture, Magemnisi, CEO MTN Baberenjali, Mukaya Wami, Executive of Southern MTN, President of Eswatini Cycle Association, Babe Zwide, President of Khemani Cycle Club, Dr. Futi Dlamini, CEO of Mangayane Town Board, partners and co-sponsor of Khemani Club, representative of cycling clubs, media, ladies and gentlemen. For me, it's just to appreciate the partnership with MTN for the most past years, almost 10 years, in the cycling event. Sinenje kwethu kukhulu kakhulu kubonga sponsorship Khemani la sendele wona na MTN. Sine banvana labafitwa MTN Khemani. Njengoba ngasashilo ke senior ukuthi bathenga nemachine letosita service semangayane. Siyabonga nje MTN Khemani kuba nale vision les ukuthi akungasithi le service semangayane, because semangayane kusuka bonke all over the country bawo treat emangayane. So siyabonga nje ku embrace le vision yengwenyama ukuthi sivisayo siqhubeke siphatheke kahle. Singumangayane ke siyathandaza, siyafisa lelanga lelikhulu ukuthi lihambe kahle. Siyathemba nje ukuthi utobade ngisho nemabhodlela labalahle emgwaqweni kulimala emabhayisikile ema-cyclists netinkomo through the working team ukuthi kutabe kunema guide landleleni suthi ama-cyclists ethu atohamba kahle. Umsebenzi lesuthandazelako nelesufisa kangaka ukuthi ube impumelelo. Mangayane ke ubalile CEO amlana ukuthi tabane abantu eNamibia nakuphi nakuphi sebamati through le cycling event. So noma kuthiwa i-event itaba sesiqunu sabona ukuthi i-network kude yaba eMangayane. So Mangayane nje utawugcina satiwa umhlaba wonke ngenzaba yemabhayisikili. So siyakubonga le partnership lesinayo, siyabonga onke ma partners aKhemani netihlobo tonke leti bambise Khemani kusile event ibe successful. Sibonge nema cyclists latabe akhona le Mangayane. Siyathemba ukuthi MTN Khemani utabalungisile nalabakhona kulungise majaqamba mase babuya lenzabeni. But nje hawu majaha ajwayele. So sinye siyabacela balungise egciniwe ba practice kulamalanga bajwayele letinzaba taseMangayane. Kuze ngalelanga lemkhulu le cycling kutobade tinkinga. Sibonga konke lokho, siya appreciate lesikwendelwe ngeKhemani, siyabonga na minister lokuthi na is part of the team ukuthi abe khona la onke lama events enteke. I thank you.
Siyabonga kakhulu Nkosi. Sibonga naloku ukuthi nje sitawumukeleka edolobheni. Siyethembisa nathi Nkosi ukuthi cyclists are very disciplined people. Sitalshiya idolobha lakho lihlobile njengoba silithola, and we will do our best to continue to speak well of Mangayane. And that's the beauty of cycling. So as you can see la ngaphandle, our guests, the smallest wheel bicycle. So as we were setting up CEO, we were getting questions. So as you're looking outside, lo sibuya nje with the sticks, it was an MTB cycle. So sebenzisana liyakelene lisomvu lelikhulu, and it's called an off-road bicycle. And for this one, it's a road one. Kunalelincane ke lelonzi lelibhayisikile. And lolo kuhle la kushoko nje umeya kwekuthi batasisita ngemabhodlela. Umuntu uthatha lelithuba minister lokuthi agcizelele emakhaya kwekuthi cyclists are also road users. Uyathi libhodlela nje lolijika ungakacabangi can really be of major impact to a cyclist. Ashaye seli athole ipancha kulimala kwakhe lana ministers hamba bo thineke sihamba bo 70 bo Zwide ke nabo Mduduzi babenda tigata bo 100 kuleti info leti. Bese uyabuka nje ukuthi kude nje umuntu uhamba emoyeni nga 100 kilometers. Bamehla malagwane minister uma lenhlitiyo uyibamba la lenhlitiyo. So we'd really implore bantu emakhaya ukuthi as citizens really ibhodlela emgwaqweni it can really impact a life, and that's why we appreciate Mangayane naloko ukuthi nje committed that ni just clean imigwaqo as we are coming to visit you on the 13th. Siyabonga kakhulu Mayor. Our next speaker will be speaking on behalf of the cycling family in the kingdom. I did mention we've got members of the sporting fraternity, our friends in cycling. I've seen Malvin join us as well. And I think he's with Newcom Cycling. We've appreciated all the other cycling clubs that are here. But our president, Zwide Ngumalo, is going to speak on behalf of the whole cycling family. We appreciate you, President, for coming. And really, we appreciate the role that your association plays in unifying the sport, but also making sure that it looks attractive as sport. So please put your hands together and welcome our president, Babe Zwide Ngumalo.
Sanbonani. I think sangnem sebendu ekufika ngikhaze ekhaya ukuthi ngingibabe ngaliphi because babe ngumshiya ekhaya, so otherwise thank you all for having us here today. I'd like to first greet the Minister of Sports, Youth and Culture Affairs, represented here by Magem Nisi. Sibali, maybe just to again use this opportunity, abuse the platform and congratulate you on the recent achievement. Sibali wami uqeda kungigugisa, so singing malume again. So congratulations, Mr. Mjali, CEO MTN Eswatini, and thank you for making the time to come and join us here. It actually shows the dedication that the company has to the sport. The National Sports and Recreation Council, also represented here today. President Khemani Cycling Club, His Worship, the Mayor of Mangayane Town Board, Babe Dlamini, ngengambona na CEO wa Mangayane Town Board, sathi nasilahlekele nasenda iboda to border ngaJune, and I'm happy lokuthi usekhona emabhayisikilini, so akathubanga on the day because it was quite a taxing ride. Partners and co-sponsors of Khemani Cycling Club, representatives of cycling clubs, the media, who have actually, I think I will take a bit of time to actually appreciate the role that the media has played since from the time we came into office. But they've been very, very supportive. They've made sure they cover every single event that we've had, be it a competitive event or a social event. They've given us the platform that we need to shine. So we're grateful for that because it's through the media that we're able to also then attract attention of sponsors, MTN Eswatini. So good afternoon to you all. My speech would have been short, but I was informed that the ministry would be here today. And we rarely get the chance to be in the same room with the ministry. So allow me to go into town and actually outline ourselves as an association and where we are and also our aspirations that we're also as an association. So on behalf of the Eswatini Cycling Association, we are delighted to be here today and would like to congratulate MTN Eswatini and Khemani Cycling Club on the return of the classic, the MTN Khemani Road Classic. As an organization, our purpose is very, very simple. Our purpose is to inspire Swazis to cycling. Our mandate is to holistically develop our sport, putting more Swazis on bicycles, and work towards getting Swazis on podiums around the world. Cycling is a very popular sport in the country, yet there are still some challenges that we have to overcome if we are to witness the development of a true cycling culture in the country. For instance, we still have to compete for space on the road with motorists and pedestrians and everyone else. So those are some of the challenges that are there, because maybe just to also remind them as cyclists, because on the day, I will find in next weekend where it's full road closure, we had to go to day motor any pedestrian last year Mangayane is still a live road, so it's just to encourage our cyclists to continue exercising caution as well. Maybe just to divert a bit, I should point out, I can never speak of my association with e-cycling without mentioning MTN Khemani. Because the first year I went to MTN Khemani, I went there as a guest of one of the then employees at MTN. The second year I went there as a service provider for the race. Then the third year, I went there as president of a cycling club that actually was a byproduct of having been introduced to cycling by MTN Khemani Road Classic. So today, for the first time on live television, I'll actually confess, because there probably wouldn't be Usekaya cycling without MTN Khemani, because it was what was happening at MTN Khemani Road Classic that actually inspired the birth of that particular club. I won't speak for other clubs. So thank you, MTN, for that long association. And it's just to show what the inspiration has been for some of us who have been outside watching and actually are here now. If we are to reach our aspirations as a collective, then we must keep in mind that change is the only constant in life. And organizations are we ought to look at them as a living organism. And the living organisms basically are based on 3 principles. One, it has to sustain its own life. The second one is you have to pass on life to another organism before death so that life can carry on. And the third one is to preserve the life of the offspring until it becomes capable of taking care of itself. So having said that, I did say I'll go into town. So having said that, I'd also like to just put Mr. Clinton McNamara on the spotlight, for the work that it has done with his resources to develop a very good crop of youngsters that are shining themselves solely with the self. Reproduction and nature, on the other hand, are social mechanisms. Reproduction cannot be accomplished without a partner, and the breeding and nurturing instinct is also directed outwards towards others. So back to today's event. What are we doing today? I had hoped Sibali would say, I hope your company, I hope because you would actually bring out that phrase. So to the question, what are we doing today? Today we are witnessing MTN Eswatini reaffirm their commitments to the development of sports in the Kingdom of Eswatini as we launch once again another edition of the MTN Khemani Road Classic. From a Eswatini Cycling Association perspective, MTN Eswatini's commitment to cycling and the partnership with Khemani Cycling Club is a very important one in this era going forward. We are proud of this race and the role that it has played over the years in positioning Eswatini in the global stage, providing a platform for talent to shine and promoting the culture of cycling. That we are here again today is a demonstration of that MTN wants to be an active partner in the sports and recreation space in the country. As an organization with limited resources, it is critical that we work together with affiliate clubs towards common goals, working to service the many unique cycling disciplines and passionate people spread across the Kingdom of Eswatini. We have to actively think around the three principles as earlier highlighted and harness the available resources for the betterment of our sport. Many companies, MTN Eswatini included, have taken quite a huge knock over the last few years as we grappled with the COVID-19 pandemic, but they have continued to support and put cycling on top of their agenda and dedicate their resources for us to be able to host and run our events throughout the year, and for that we are grateful. The best way, however, to show our gratitude would be making sure we look after our sponsors well and support them at every turn and make sure they see the value of plowing their hard-earned money into cycling. The role of the Eswatini Cycling Association moving forward is a transformational one. Ours is to lead, regulate, and empower. We will engage, unite, and support our partners as we collectively develop our community through well-aligned, high-quality programs, events, and services. In that light, I'd like to challenge MTN Khemani Cycling Club and every other cycling club represented here today, and also those who are not represented here today, to walk this road with us. We have noted that most clubs are making intentional efforts to improve visibility, branding, and stickiness of the sport, organizing social rides as a means to draw new adopters into the space. And long may that continue. The next challenge for all of us seated here today is moving towards professionalizing the sport at all levels, making the circle bigger. The issue of development, which is nurturing the young, can never be understated. We have seen, as I've already highlighted earlier, in recent years, a brilliant crop of youngsters come up and light up the scene and give us hope for the future. But they need help. They need guidance. They require resources. But most of all, they need competition. We can't be going to events to watch forever against forever. So another challenge for Khemani, the cycling club, is to do it again, because I know they've done it again. They've previously given us a crop of cyclists that we've been raving about for years. So the challenge is to find the next crop of youngsters and bring them to the fore. As ngiyajabula lokuthi umlangene uyiraisile le issue when in his speech. So I'm glad to see it shows how aligned our objectives are. Every cycling club affiliated to the association must, as a matter of obligation, have a development team. We are fully aware of the challenges that exist, and most of them can be solved by us speaking the same language and singing from the same hymn book. The future of cycling in the Kingdom of Eswatini will be determined by how we address 4 critical issues in line with the 3 principles I highlighted earlier. The first one is the issue of governance. As I said, I'm also making sure the ministry knows where we are and the direction that we want to take. So that's why I'm taking my time to actually outline all these things. So the first one is the issue of governance, where we are talking of effective execution of monitoring activities, policy development, a clear strategy, leadership, and stewardship that supports achievements of yearly and long-term goals. The second one is the issue of athlete development, where we are looking at setting up structures and activities that will ensure athletes have an opportunity to develop to their full potential, ensuring athletes are supported by accessible, equitable, and beneficial development programs. I'm happy again MTN Khemani is talking the issue of a cycling academy. So through our structures, we as ECA, we will ensure that selection processes are equitable and allow competition schedules, and athlete performance data is collected and analyzed to maximize individual athlete development across multiple stages. Then the third one is the issue of coaches, officials, and leaders development. We also have an obligation to ensure that athletes have access to a qualified coach and work within a properly designed development plan to ensure that all coaches are trained or certified in the appropriate national and international context, and ensure that all coach, official, and leaders training, development, assessment, and selection by ECA are based largely on a long-term athlete development principles. The third one is the issue of what we are getting here about today, the issue of competition programs and events. Our competitions should be designed to provide accessible, affordable, and developmentally appropriate and meaningful competition for all athletes. So we've also made deliberate efforts to make sure that the calendar itself is probably periodized and provides sufficient opportunity for athlete recovery and supports a clear development pathway. So coaches and athletes have to use the competition intentionally to support development. So we're still talking development. Then the last one, which does not make it the least, the lowest hanging in our agenda, is the issue of women in cycling. We have seen a growth, but it's still not enough. So we need to support the club programming to recruit and retain girls and women in cycling. Create an empowering platform for women from all parts of the cycling community with opportunities to network, exchange views and experiences to collaborative projects and initiatives. So once again, allow me to pass on behalf of all involved in cycling in the Kingdom of Eswatini our gratitude to MTN Eswatini for their continued dedication to the development of the sports in the country. We cherish the partnerships and the relationships we have with our corporate partners as they allow us to add value, not just to cycling as a sport, but towards a healthy and active nation. I would like to encourage cyclists to register in good time, because we've seen some cyclists that have a register, either they register on the day or the day after the deadline. I don't know why that is. So please, may we take it upon ourselves to make sure we register in good time, because if we register in good time, then it makes the planning easier for the race organizers. And may we please mark the return of this great classic by turning up in our numbers. Thank you very much, and congratulations once again to MTN Khemani Cycling and MTN Eswatini for the partnership. We're looking forward to seeing you all in November at Mangayane. Thank you.
Thank you very much, President. Thank you for the words and the 4 marching orders. That's what I want to call it. Because as a captain of cycling, you say, let's look at governance, the development of athletes, how we get coaches and how we officiate, and finally, as the color of cycling, the women in cycling. And I think, President, it's a very good vision. And I suppose it only makes sense to not speak on behalf of Khemani as per se, but to say that the vision is supported. And I think you already have living cases of how it can be done. So it must be done. Thank you, President. It's a grand vision, sir. And I'm certain that as a cycling family, collectively, we will achieve it. Ngilani Phinze nimshayele itanda, President. At this point, ladies and gentlemen, our last speaker for the day is not by any means the least. We get to hear from the Honorable Minister from the Ministry of Sports, Culture and Youth Affairs. The Minister is not currently with us. He sent his sincere apologies, which I am certain that Mage Mnisi will speak to. But at this moment, it gives me great pleasure to humbly invite the representative of the Minister to come and deliver the Minister's remarks. Ngicela nimukele Mage Naniki Mnisi.
Yeah. The ever-ravishing Programs Director, thank you for the opportunity. The CEO, senior government officials present here today, the CEO and the acting CEO, so I've heard, the executive of MTN here, the CEO at the National Sports and Recreation Council, the acting Mr. Tabet Zama, the acting director of sports, Mr. Mangaliso Simelane, and then the president of Eswatini Cycling Association, Mr. Zwi Dengumalo, the president of Khemani Cycling Club, Dr. Futi Lamini, His Worship, the mayor of Mankayana, Mr. Kundlamini, probably my mayor as well, and the CEO at Mankayane, Mr. David Matlaupa, partners and co-sponsors of Khemani Cycling Club, representative of cycling clubs, members of the media and distinguished guests, all ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. The minister is not present. He's currently out of the country on another assignment, and the acting minister is tied up with another pressing matter, which has caused him not to attend this very important gathering, and he has sent his apologies. I hope this is acceptable, considering that he so much wanted to come here. Like he has already confirmed, CEO, that he will be here today. Unfortunately, he couldn't come. In that regard, I don't have my own remarks, so I'll just go straight to the remarks of the Honorable Minister. It gives me pleasure, on behalf of His Majesty's government, to stand before you this afternoon as we launch the 2022 MTN Khemani Road Classic. As you may know, His Majesty's government has an agenda on wellness and health. Hence, we have initiatives such as Shuguma Eswatini, which aim to inculcate a culture of sport in Emaswati across all levels. The 2022 MTN Khemani Road Classic therefore aligns well with our aspirations as a government to have an Eswatini that is both physically and mentally fit. I am sure we can all appreciate the vast benefits that cycling presents to our cyclists, which include but are not limited to increased cardiovascular fitness, increased muscle strength and flexibility, improved joint mobility, decreased stress levels, improved posture and coordination, strengthened bones, decreased body fat levels, and the prevention or management of disease. For anyone feeling a little down or worn down, emotionally drained and or physically unfit, cycling is just the perfect dose. Not only that, cycling is a huge tourism booster in the country, and it attracts both domestic and international tourists, thereby contributing to the country's economic growth. At this point, I would like to acknowledge the crucial role played by the sport in general in the country's national development. I would also like to appreciate the private sector, MTN specifically, for the investment made in cycling and other sports such as soccer, golf, among others. Mr. CEO, it pleases me to say that MTN is indeed a friend to sport in the kingdom. We look forward to many more years of friendship and support in the area of sport and indeed in other disciplines such as art and music. We really appreciate you. Let me also take this opportunity to challenge other private sector companies to take a leaf from MTN, certainly by investing in sport and the wellness of their staff. I am told MTN has brought cycling to her staff and would like to congratulate you for that, Mr. CEO. I cannot overemphasize the important role played by Khemani in the development of cycling as a professional sport. The results are out there for everyone to see, as we now have cyclists competing in the global space, the likes of Muzi Chabangu, who is fresh from representing the kingdom in the Commonwealth Games, and others. This is encouraging and is the perfect motivation for youngsters to join the sport. Special gratitude also goes to Eswatini Cycling Association for being a unifying body and a voice of cycling. Over the years, there has been an exciting increase in cycling events, both competitive and social, in